Soots, under a week now to go until your return to the Alexandra Palace stage, a place that you've been to a few times now. Give us a flavour of what the build-up is now, you know, a little 6 days to go.
Yeah, so actually for the first time since I turned pro, I'm not working. I'm actually off on holiday from work, so it couldn't have landed any better for me. So in that regards, I've actually been able to have proper practice sessions. So I've been practicing for 5-6 hours a day this last couple of days. So in the lead up, I feel like I'm prepping really well this time because we've had good times at Ali Pali, obviously the first couple of years, but last year left a bit of a sour taste in the mouth. So I don't want to fall at the first hurdle again and you know, have a bit of a howler. So I want to be as prepared as I can. Actually, last night I kind of studied my opponent a wee bit, went on YouTube, watched a few of his Euro Tour games, watched a couple of bits from the PDC Nordic and Baltic Tour, and just had a look about, see what he was up to, see what his averages were, see how he plays, see his speed and things like that. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of homework as well as practicing, but obviously it doesn't really matter what he does, it matters what I do. And I think that's what I've been saying. Everybody's been asking me, who's the guy you're playing? I'm like, it doesn't matter, it matters what I do. So if I prep right this week, get myself ready, get down on Sunday and just be ready to go Tuesday afternoon, and everything should be good, hopefully.
Yeah, you basically play the board, not the man, is what you're saying.
It's the age-old thing that everyone always says, but yeah, it's in my hands. You know, yeah. You can put stats together as much as you want. My manager, Paul Brown, as well, from Big Five, as soon as the draw came out, he sent me a big, long sort of critique of me, but also of him, and how we would come together in a match and sort of compared stats. So I've had that for the last few weeks anyway, and I've kind of been feeding off that when I've been practicing. And he gives me Paul gives me certain things to practice. You know, if I'm not scoring as good or if I'm not finishing as well, we focus on different things every day. So today I've been doing a lot of my Gold Darts Pro practice, which is everything. So it encompasses the whole thing. So I've not actually played a leg of 5-1 today. I've done loads of routines. So I think I love doing that when it's self-practice. I've been practicing by myself in my dart room at home. So I think that's mega beneficial. And I've already noticed, you know, this. Just an hour ago, I've just finished practicing. I was absolutely nailing it. So I'm feeling good already, and I've still got the whole week ahead of practice. I'm doing nothing else, nothing planned at all, apart from dart room, first thing till last thing, basically every day. So it's more practice than I ever do. So I want to be right this time.
Just leave nothing in the dressing room, basically.
Kinda, aye, yeah. Do you know what? I'm still hurting from last year's Ali Pali, and. When you had 2 great years the first year, everyone expects you to do so well at Ali Pali, but it's not as easy as that. And obviously there's a couple of contributing factors last year with golf arts, dart snapping and me getting left on stage and things, but if I'm being honest, I was probably just too busy in the build-up and the lead-up to Ali Pali, and I didn't treat it the right way, so it's getting treated properly this year.
Yeah, I mean, not to hark back to 12 months ago, but sometimes, you know, you can learn a lot in victory, but sometimes you can learn more in defeat. So is that something that when you take to the stage next Tuesday, that those experiences that you've had, you don't want to endure them again, and that'll spur you on to get yourself into the second round? Yeah,
totally. So even to go back a year before that, I didn't qualify for Ali Pali, and that was off the Pro Tour, my own fault. I didn't have a great year. I got beaten in the final of the qualifier to get there from Florian Hempel, and he went on to do all right at Ali Pali, and that hurt. And then I was determined not to miss out on Ali Pali again, so I fixed that last year, got in Ali Pali pretty comfortably, and I've done it again this year pretty comfortably. So my Pro Tour form and things like that is good enough to make Ali Pali. Obviously they've extended the field this year, so it was a little bit easier, but I was still well within what last year's criteria would have been. So I think just that a bad loss does make you think about your prep and about, are you doing the right stuff? Are you practicing properly? Are you focused practice, not just chucking at the board like a lot of people just chuck at 20s? So I've been doing a lot of focused practice the last couple of days, and yeah, I kind of hope that when I get down to Ali Pali, you know, we're going to London on Sunday. I kind of hope that we get set up in the house Sunday night. We've got Sunday night to practice. We've got Monday. I'm actually going for a practice on Monday afternoon with Chris Dobie. So Chris is in the same session as me, so it's good for him as well, I'd imagine. But to play with a Premier League player and a major winner. You know, a couple of hours practice in a boozer in London. We'll not disclose the location, Chris. But yeah, we're going to go for a few hours practice the day before, so I'm going to get a high level of practice, match practice, playing set play against Chris. So I'm preparing for that now, so I'm not doing as much 501 until the next couple of days. I'll start 501.
Yeah, you mentioned the set play there. I mean, a large percentage of your matches this year has been on the floor to go on the stage now, and we have seen you, and you know, I watched countless amount of footage of you when you've been on the stage. That is just something that seems to click. You are a showman as well, and the crowd can give you that extra edge to hopefully spur you on deep into the tournament.
Two different things of that. I've actually been thinking about a lot when I've been practicing today, about keeping my Scottishness in a little bit and not being me as much on the stage, because I sometimes can't help it, you know. And last year I was giving the crowd all this and getting them going against me, and I think this year I'll maybe play it down a bit. But it's all right saying that until you walk out on the stage and you don't know what you're encountering. They might be all right, but I'm going to have bright red tartan breeks on and a big Scotland flag on my shirt, so I can already imagine what they're going to be like. But that's something I've chose to do, something that I'm proud of being Scottish, so I'm not going to hide it. But I think I maybe just be a bit calmer and just play darts. I think I've done that the first couple of years. Once I realised what Ali Pali was all about, once I realised what the crowd were up to, you can kind of block it out. It's just a noise. Unless they're doing the usual carry on, whistling or individual shouts, the singing in that isn't really an issue. So they can sing Scotland Get Battered all they want. And I think it'll just keep it inside a little bit and let it burn inside and feed off of that. I think that's the one thing I'm going to try and do this year. Try and feed off the, all right, you want me to lose? Okay, here we go. And hopefully produce the goods and just give them a little at the end, show off the Scottish passion. But yeah, I'm going to try and tone it down a wee bit.
Do you feel that all the experiences, not just at Ali Pali that you've had, now you've been on the tour 4 years? 5 years you've been on
5, yeah.
Now, that there was that level of expectation probably locally when you first broke on the scene. Do you feel that you're in that sort of position now where you have to start sort of fulfilling the massive potential that you've got and trying to get onto more stage rather than just the floor?
Yeah, but again, it's kind of going over old ground with the old changing in the rankings, what they've done about the Euro Tour. What the PDC done there is kind of, I was actually looking at the rankings last night, and it's a massive difference. Between 16 to 32 and 32 to 48 and 48 to 64 is now incredible, and you're not closing that gap ever, unless you are a super talent like Luke Humphreys, Luke Littler, Nico Springer. These guys can close the gap because they've got the goods, whereas a lot of us on the floor have got the game, but we don't have the full package all the time. So I think that's still being in the fire brigade probably is still not living up to my full potential, because you can't practice for 8 hours a day like certain guys do. You know, I've heard stories that guys practice 6, 7, 8 hours a day. It's hard to believe, because it's hard to do that every day. Get up in the morning and practice darts. You've got to have a bit of life as well. So I think from a Arbroath and an Angus and a Scottish point of view, I think everyone knows that I can play darts, and I've done it for Scotland. I've done it at county level and that. But I think the first 2 years at Ali Pali, everyone thought, oh, here we go, Soots is actually taken to the PDC and going to do great. And then it kind of just got to the top 32 and it stalled. It just kind of just stopped a bit. So one bad year can throw you right down the rankings, and that's kind of where I've been treading water in the late 40s and early 50s in the rankings for the last 2 years. So yeah, it'd be good to, I think come the end of this year, depending on Ali Pali, if I can put a run together there, I think I'm going to start the year off a couple of places up and then progress on, because I'm not defending a penny. So I didn't make Ali Pali 2 years ago, and last year I only got $7,500 for getting me in the first round. So I've got quite a clean slate to try and build on the rankings. So I think from that point of view, it's kind of like starting again, year 1, year 2. The Ali Pali $35,000 isn't hanging over you, that's coming off your rankings. So I don't have any of that. I don't have anything massive coming off. Next year I've got the Pro Tour win coming off, but it's $15,000. I'm getting $15,000 for making Ali Pali. So you kind of got to wait up that way and go, you're covered for the Pro Tour win already. So get on the floor next year and smash the 34 Pro Tours.
Kind of just going back to that expectation thing, because I have the argument, not an argument, but you have discussions with other people, because a lot of people ask me about you all the time, and the one thing I always say is, if you make Ali Pali or you have a tour card, you can play darts, and it's that level where people just think that you're going to go up there and bang in ton averages and get through, but all the guys that you're playing against, it's not like Scotland v San Marino 20 years ago where it was, it's all these guys can play darts, and it is that fine margin on the day. Sometimes it can be, and as you say, if you can use something like the hostile crowd at Ali Pali to generate something inside you, you're going to use it.
Yeah, and I think I'm old enough, I'm 47 years old. I've done a lot of stage darts, maybe not at Ali Pali for the last decade, but on other stages, and I think that gives me a little bit of a head start against this guy's playing his debut next Tuesday. So he's a good player, he's Finland's #1, so I'm not taking it lightly, but I've got a shed load more experience than him. But going back to what you said about the level on the Pro Tour, there's a guy, Paul Brown will back me up on this, there's a guy from Denmark that I played 3 times, Benjamin Ruiz. He's just lost his card, he had it for 2 years, lost his card. Every time I played him, he averaged over 100 and smashed me. And people are like, he's getting beat off some guy from Denmark nobody even knows. And I'm like, give me a break here, guys. This guy's he has 102, 106, and I think 101. 3 times I played him, and it's like, nobody knows who he is. He doesn't make Ali Pali, doesn't make any TV events, but on the floor, these guys are banging out these games against you. It's only first to 6. So it's very difficult unless you come to a Pro Tour and actually see the floor. We're sitting in the townhouse just now in Arbroath, and one of my sponsors has backed me for the last 5 years. He has came down, because he used to give me a bit of feedback and say, what's happening, what's going on, and then he came to a Pro Tour and went, and it kind of clicked, and he realised, wow, because he walked around the room and you can watch every game on the lanes, and he was just like amazed at the standard and how fine margins make a massive difference down there. So I think it is an eye-opener for people, but from looking at Dart Connect or looking from the outside in, you don't get the full picture. So I think it's a good question, because people will just assume that you should win because you're playing someone that they don't recognise, or they don't know the name of the guy, or it's a young boy, which now is definitely not someone you can take lightly, a young player, because you're seeing them all coming through now. Look like they've started an absolute avalanche, or the JDC has probably.
Yeah. And again, a lot of the focus for the year in darts is about the World Championships. It finishes at the end of the year, but the whole year for you, talk us through that, because you've covered planes, trains, and automobiles. It's been a busy season, alongside the fact that you're still a full-time firefighter, alongside the fact as well that your exhibition part of darts now as well is phenomenally flying as well. So what's the year to get to this stage been like for you? Are you in a good place now? Yeah,
I think actually going back to the very start of the interview, just being off work for this couple of weeks now it really fell perfectly for me. But yeah, as the year goes, I think every year's busy. But they've added Pro Tours, they added the Masters into the mix now, which is a ranking event, so everyone's involved in it. So they're actually adding more to the calendar, so it's getting busier and busier. Euro Tours, not so much, because it's really hard to make them now, so you're not maybe travelling into Europe as much as you were. I was maybe qualified for 5, 6, 7 of them a year. Last year was 2. So it's a big difference. That's 4 or 5 weekends that you're actually at home or at work because you've not qualified. So I would love to do better in them, but it's so hard. But going back to the whole year as a full, yeah, I still work. I still do 37 sets this year at work, although I'm probably not there for all 37 sets, clearly. But the guys look after me, Arbroath Fire Station, every shift likes a Soots swap, so they've got my back massively, and I couldn't do it without that. I just genuinely couldn't do it. There's a lot of guys had to quit their jobs and stuff, and that's horrendous pressure. So for me, I'm still lucky that I can do both, and the exhibitions are just mental. It's probably the only word to describe it. We're doing something different when we do exhibitions. I don't want to I've been involved in exhibitions over the last decade, you know, and I don't want to be that kind of exhibition. I don't want to be just there for darts. I want to be a show, entertainment, a bit of comedy, just a carry on and let people have a great night. And I think the overwhelming thing that people say to us is, what an amazing night. I didn't expect it to be like that. And that's, you know, when a lady came up to us in Airdrie one time and says, wow, I thought it was going to be old men playing darts and it was nothing like that, so thank you very much. And when you get a little bit of praise like that, you just think we're doing the right thing. So yeah, that's got crazy, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any quieter next year, because we're already booked for 30 shows in Scotland, and we've got one really cool special one coming off in February. Hopefully we'll talk more about that once it's signed and sealed, but that's going to be a really cool one down in Portsmouth, so you can take what you want from that. But it's exhibitions are cool. I really like doing them, and for me, I kind of treat them as practice sessions, because I'm trying to hit 180s and I'm trying to do fancy tricks. I'm trying to do double doubles and things like that. So I could be in the house practicing for 4 hours, or I could be going around Scotland, meeting different people, actually increasing maybe my fan base a little bit. I don't see it like that, because I don't see myself as that kind of player, but I think all the places we've been in Scotland this year, someone in that venue or a few people from that venue will be like, oh, Soots is on, let's watch him and get behind him. So from that side of it, people that have never met you before will be watching next Tuesday hoping that you win. So that's a cool thing about exhibitions. And obviously it's great as our 4-ball, 5 of us sometimes, you know, we've got a really great team, tight knit, spend a lot of time together, even socially away from darts, you know, our football club and that, we're all together all the time. So I really love that side of it, and I'm happy that the guys are going to be down at Ali Pali this year with me. So the Soots exhibition boys are coming. So that's a pretty cool thing that you're going to get to experience through the back in the players' room. So yeah, busy year.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it just at the start there, of that question where you talked about the guys in the fire brigade helping you out, and that's one of the things that I see with you. You've got a really strong team behind you. Amanda, Paul, the guys that help with the exhibitions, along with G, your sponsors and things like that. That's one of the things that, and you know, they've been very loyal to you. That you have been very loyal to them, and it just seems to be, you know, that almost like local hero type thing. That, you know, that you're not just doing this for Alan Suter, you're doing it for all of us as well, because you're living out a lot of people's dreams as well by going on that world stage.
Yeah, I feel that as well. I feel the pressure of that a lot of times, you know. And when you get beat, you're disappointed. You go back to the house in Leicester or Wigan or Milton Keynes, wherever you are, and you're so disappointed at getting beat, and you realise, you know, you just need to go on socials and have a read of a couple of messages, or people just comment on the posts that you guys put up on the Soots exhibition page. It kind of sucks when you're sitting after a defeat back and you're just like, and it kind of fires you on. You want to do better, because I know for a fact everybody in Arbroath, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I know everybody in Arbroath wants you to do well, and then that spreads through Angus, because I was involved with Angus Darts and the Angus Darts Academy, still involved with the JDC Scotland, so all that, they all come together. They'll be supporting Cammy and Gaz and Peter and Daz Beveridge and that, so it's a Scottish thing, isn't it? We want everybody that's Scottish to do well, just like the football boys. The football the other night against Denmark, you couldn't have made that up. The feeling I had watching it, I was on night shift at work watching it, and we were jumping about in the TV room at work. It was that crazy Scottish passion, and Ali Pali brings it out in us Scots. So when I'm down there, I realise that I'm down there for bigger than just Alan Suter. And when you win, you know, I've pictures of G with the tartan hat on, giving it big licks at Ali Pali. I've got videos of Beansy charging down with a Scotland flag through the crowd when I checked out 144 against Sulevic. So those memories and those moments, and even just turning to Amanda and doing this, we see the clips all the time because we use them on the exhibition circuit, and I relive them moments because I keep seeing them on the stage, on the TV screens, and it's like, oh, that was brilliant, I remember that, and then the checkouts to win matches against Nathan Aspinall in the Grand Slam. I just remember turning to Paul after the game, and it's just like, and I could see him living it through me as well and being excited. So I know that feeling of everyone's enjoying the ride, and it's a cool thing. It's a cool place for me to be.
Yeah, and talking of cool places to be, G from the Townhouse has developed this incredible darts room that I know that you had a lot of help in as well, and indebted to, you're obviously an ambassador to Mission now, and Mission have been incredibly generous in supplying all the things there. But this is just such a great venue for people of Arbroath, young and old, to come and really in a safe place enjoy their darts.
Yeah, that you just said it there. You touched on the safe space. So the dartboards behind are, Mission supplied them all. G's brainchild. We were going to have them this way, but once I came in and spoke and we looked at the space, I kind of said to him, you want to do something really cool and not the same as every other pub. And a lot of times the pubs don't really care about a dartboard. It's just in there, and the Monday night team will maybe put a new board up. But this is cool for loads of reasons, that you can fit 2 dart teams in here, or you can just bring your own team and have a night out, play some darts. Even if you don't play darts, you can come have a recreational night, but the safe space part of it is G's whole ethos, and I think he's developed something in the Townhouse through his own mindset as well, that he knows what he wants out of life and looked after by people. So I just read a thing yesterday, I think, about the Townhouse opening up on Christmas Day. You can come and have a warm soup and a coffee and just chat and get away from whatever it is that you might be feeling a bit down, or just coming here. So G's cool in my book for that kind of thing, and I appreciate that, and I want to get on board with stuff. We've got a few things we might be doing next year with veterans in the community as well through the Townhouse. So doing all this stuff, this is cool as anything. I've been in here with the guys, most of the top players in Angus. We came and had a night out, had a right good round robin of darts, and the boys all loved it. So it's a great setup. The Oki's perfect. It's a mini stage. You can't go wrong with the boards. They're brand new Mission Samurai 4s, tablets. It's all singing and dancing, so it's a really cool spot. And for a business like a smallish local business in Arbroath to sponsor me for the last 5 years, unequivocally, just no problem. But the return side of that, I've seen how much G's got out of it and how many trips he's been to, and I think he's probably been to everything now. He's been to pretty much every event, Pro Tour, Euro Tour. He was ticking them off as we were going. And actually a couple of months ago I was in Wigan, went to the bar just before warming up, and as I walked back I was looking over the room and I seen G over that sign. I was like, that looks like G, but he wasn't there, he wasn't with us, and I was like, that is G. And he's like, alright. He just came down that day, came to the Pro Tour, just to come to the Pro Tour, and then he came and enjoyed Wigan. We go to a local bar, and that the people are brilliant as well, the Open Arms, they look after us when we're down there, and just, that's what my journey is, bringing other people along with me. And if I wasn't doing it, then it all goes quiet on the dart front, doesn't it? If I'm not doing it from Arbroath and from Angus, there's no one doing it. So I kind of want to be that guy I've always been that guy that wants to do something different, champion something that I do. The Darts Academy, for example, Angus Darts, I wanted it to be the biggest and the best, so I want to be the biggest and best I can be playing darts.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on there as well, G is a sponsor, but I know that you always want to take opportunities like this to thank all the guys that sponsor you on the back, because when you're on that stage, they're on there with you. That's a big thing for you.
Yeah, I think that's, they don't have to sponsor players, and they don't have to give you what they give you, and I think without that, I potentially couldn't do it, because I'm just a firefighter, I haven't got loads of cash. Everyone might think you get loads of money from the PDC and that, but it doesn't work that way, and it's expensive to travel. So every one of them that are on my shirt is important, and now you've got 7. So Beansy has been on it right from the very start. He actually said before Q School, when I was a Scotland captain, if you want to go and do it, we'll back you. And he has. Every year he's backed me, and it was actually Beansy got me 2 other sponsors, the Rightliners, who I've done a couple of exhibitions for, been to his house. He got us an exhibition with the Scotland squad before they went to the Euros. That was all through Daz and Kev, right? So those guys are more than just sponsors now, they're friends, and we can socialise with them and spend times with them. And the times that we've been at Ali Pali on the good side, the draw and winning matches and last leg deciders and all this sort of stuff.
Lewis Capaldi saying that you're his favourite as well.
Obviously, innit? He's just human. But those guys all look after me. And Big Scott Smith, he's always at Ali Pali. He's the first person to message me and say, what's happening? We're getting tickets, we're doing it, I'm coming down, I'm bringing young Scott. So yeah, I can't think it would be enough. And then obviously Mission, Mission took a gamble on me, but I think they're good at doing that. They don't want the top players. They want guys that might develop and be decent players. But I like to think I give them a bit back by being the ambassador and try to do as much as I can for them. If they want me to go to Bolton and do a day's filming, I'll drive for 5 hours down to Bolton and do a day's filming for them, no problem at all. And that side of it I love, actually. I love this kind of stuff, and I love, like, Matt Edgar and Andy Cornwell have got Mission YouTube channel up and running. It's getting a lot of hits and they're creating a bigger following for Mission as a brand. So I love that, and I'd love to be more part of that. So as soon as they ask, I go and do it, no bother.
Yeah, well, so it's just leaves us to say, 4 or 5 days to go. I know it's intense training. It was great that you were able to give us a bit of your time just to give us an insight about how your year's gone and how you're feeling ahead of this championship. On behalf of me, all the other guys, everyone that follows you all year, go and do it for yourself, but do it for Arbroath, do it for Scotland.
Thank you.
Let's go!